This is the Sitting Meditation CD3. Settle down in a chair, making yourself comfortable as best you can. Allow your eyes to close gently. Bring your awareness to how you're sitting in the chair and where your body makes contact with the chair. Sitting with legs uncrossed and feet flat on the floor, your lower back can be supported by the chair, making a stable base for your upper body. Your spine is straight but not stiff, gently guiding your chest to be lifted slightly, and let gravity allow your shoulders to drop down away from your ears. Your head is centered, balanced comfortably between your shoulders, allowing the crown of your head to be lifted toward the ceiling and your chin to lower slightly. Intentionally adjusting your body this way allows you to take on a dignified sitting posture. Now, taking a few moments to get in touch with the movement of your breath and the sensations in the body. Be aware of the sense of touch and pressure in your body where it makes contact with whatever you're sitting on. Spend a minute or two exploring these sensations. And now, bringing your attention to the changing patterns of physical sensations in the lower abdomen as the breath moves in and out of your body. You might want to place your hand on your belly and feel the changing pattern of sensations as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Focusing your attention on the sensations of the slight stretching sensation as the abdominal wall rises with each in-breath, and of gentle deflation as it falls with each out-breath. As best you can, following with your attention the changing physical sensations in the lower abdomen, all the way through as the breath enters your body on the in-breath, and all the way through as the breath leaves your body on the out-breath. Perhaps noticing the slightest pauses between one in-breath and the following out-breath, and between one out-breath and the following in-breath. There is no need to try to control the breath in any way. Simply let the breath breathe itself. And as best you can, also bring this attitude of allowing to the rest of your experience. There's nothing to be fixed, no particular state to be achieved. As best you can, simply allow your experience to be your experience without needing it to be anything other than it is. You're simply being an observer of your breathing, gently riding the waves of the breath. Sooner or later, usually sooner, your mind will wander away from the focus on the breath in the lower abdomen to thoughts, planning, daydreams, drifting along, noises, whatever. This is perfectly okay. It's simply what minds do. It's not a mistake or a failure. When you notice that your attention is no longer on the breath, gently congratulate yourself. You've come back and you're once more aware of your experience. You may want to acknowledge briefly where the mind has been. There's thinking. And then gently escort the attention back to a focus on the changing pattern of physical sensations in the lower abdomen, renewing the intention to pay attention to the ongoing in-breath or out-breath, whichever you find easier to pay attention to. You might also become aware of sensations in your body that call for your attention. It could be an itch or a tickle. It could be an ache that you hadn't been aware of before sitting quietly. Or it could be a painful sensation that you deal with on a daily basis. For now, as best you can, simply observe this sensation and see what happens. Does it take on a different quality? Does it fade away or grow in intensity? Are thoughts or emotions tied to the sensation? As best you can, simply observe the sensation and be aware of the separation of the sensation from the thought that labels it or the emotion that may come along with it. If, as you're observing a sensation, say an itch, you decide to scratch the itch, that's perfectly okay. But you might want to experiment with first being aware of the sensation and then becoming aware of the intention to scratch or readjust your position or whatever you feel your body needs at the time. Then, being aware of your intention, go ahead and make whatever adjustment you need to make. A scratch or a shift in posture, whatever you need to do to be kind to your body at this particular moment in time. And then, as always, bring your attention back to your anchor, back to your breath. Simply observing the entire process of the in-breath and the entire process of the out-breath, and the spaces in between. Every time you become aware of your mind wandering from your breath, using it as a fresh opportunity to gently and kindly note what called you away and bringing your attention back to your breath. As best you can, bring a quality of kindness to your attention, perhaps seeing the repeated wanderings of the mind as opportunities to bring patience and gentle curiosity to your experience. And reminding yourself from time to time that the point is simply to be aware of your experience in each moment as best you can, using the breath as an anchor to gently reconnect with the here and now each time you notice that your mind has wandered and is no longer following the breath. It might be helpful to check in with yourself from time to time and ask, where is my attention right here, right now? Is it on the breath? Is it elsewhere? If it's elsewhere, simply noting where it went. Maybe naming it. Oh, there's sadness, or oh, there's an uncomfortable sensation. And then bringing your attention back to the breath. When you experience a thought, or an emotion, or a sensation that is uncomfortable for you as best you can, simply try to observe that too. Our great tendency is to try to get rid of emotions and sensations that are not pleasant or comfortable. But for just this moment, see if you can simply allow the emotion or sensation to be there without pushing it away. Because it already is here. Just for this moment, accepting that it is here, observing it, maybe even naming it, and then bringing your awareness back to the breath. When we experience troubling thoughts, we tend to mull them over in our mind, or talk to ourselves about them, or even create an imaginary conversation or argument with another person to justify or to get it off our chest, or feel like we're in the right and the other person is in the wrong. When you find your mind getting carried downstream by a thought, it may help to simply note it by saying, oh, there's thinking, or oh, there's thinking and there's sadness, or oh, there's thinking and there's muscle tension. And then, just as always, bringing your mind back to its anchor, the attention on the breath. However often you notice that the mind has wandered, and this will quite likely happen over and over and over again, as best you can, congratulate yourself each time on reconnecting with your experience in the moment, gently escorting the attention back to the breath, and simply resume following an awareness the changing pattern of physical sensations in the lower abdomen, those sensations that come with each in-breath and out-breath. It's as if you're sitting on the bank of a stream and watching thoughts and emotions and sensations come and go like leaves floating by on the stream. When you notice that you have floated along with one of those thoughts or emotions or sensations, when you notice that you're being carried downstream, simply note that and bring yourself back to the bank of the stream, observing and watching the thoughts and emotions and sensations pass on by. And as we come to the last few moments of this mindfulness sitting, wherever you are right now, simply bring your attention back to your breathing. Focus on the fullness of the in-breath and the fullness of the out-breath. And the spaces in between. Become aware of any thoughts or emotions about this sitting coming to an end. Maybe relief, maybe impatience, maybe disappointment. Maybe a tendency to judge what you've just done, as if there's a right or a wrong way to do this. Simply note what is going through your mind as you become aware that you're nearing the end of this sitting. And then let those thoughts or emotions float on by as you sit on the edge of the thought stream, simply observing your breath. And when you're ready, You might want to move your hands a bit, flex your fingers and toes. Gradually bring your attention back to the room and your surroundings. Maybe noticing any sounds in the room. And as you're ready, opening your eyes.